incredibly bright future. Of course, two brothers as well, which Gabriel made his debut for the Japan under-19s 2 weeks ago.
Sean Kulasuri has been joined by James Baisley at the crease at number 4. The bottom edge short of the slip fielder. Looks like it's Ravichandran who's put himself in at first slip. Keeper. And we're also like coming around the wicket to the left-hander. Just joining us, welcome. We start here. If you're a South Kanto fan, the Super Kings have made an electric start here, but there is hope for the North Kanto Lions. Welcome in around the world, wherever you're watching. Japan Cricket Association channel. Afternoon action of Japan Premier League 10. North v South. North Kanto Lions against the South Kanto Super Kings. And 2 early wickets for Charlie Harahins here. Kulasuri beats the man at 45. 4 important runs in this rebuild.
He was just slightly astray from Yamamoto Lake, but he was onto it quickly. Was Kulasuri. Lovely shot. It's full reward. This is just the second match today. Match earlier. East Kanto Sunrisers getting up over West Kanto Hurricanes.
Well driven, but big James Baisley unfortunately can't get out of the road of it.
A good time for Baisley to be at the wicket really, and after not the best of starts for North Kanto. A bit of bother at 12 for 2. His experience will just show through.
Quick one. They take on the striker's end, and geez, it would have been disaster at James Baisley being run out without facing a ball. In the end, he survives. Slight difference between the pair of these batters, which you were to put Kulasuri next to Gulfran as we had earlier. There's a discrepancy of height between those two as well. Gulfran's actually shorter than Kulasuri. And now James Baisley is making Kulasuri look like Gulfran. First ball of the tournament, James Baisley, who's got good session in with the bat and the nets. Happy just to see the first one. Plenty of experience in James Baisley's decade-long professional cricketing career. End of the over. North Kanto will be hoping for some of that experience to shine through in this situation. 17 for 2, 4 overs gone. Quick look at the other game. Of course, going on field number 2. Kansai charges a 13 for 1. In that first game of the tournament, 3 overs bowled, and already lost Jack Wood. Takahashi currently trundling in for the Sunrisers. Meanwhile, another spinner, finger spinner, looking for the wicket number 3. And Story down the track. 20 over game here. Sorry, Garth, 15 overs the first game due to the wet weather we had. So normal T20 playing conditions. 6 over power play, 4 overs spells for each of your bowlers. See another wicket. No, an appeal over on field 2. Slip comes in for Baisley. Charlie Harahins with a big challenge on his hands here.
Yeah, Ravichandran, skipper, Happy to give Charlie Hinds his third over after a brilliant start from him.
Early shout of 1 from Baisley, and it might actually turn into 2, but Kulasuri has not been switched on. It was a big misfield, but yeah, Kulasuri gave up on it too early.
Chance now.
And then they end up getting it anyway. And then they throw to Baisley's end. Looked a little bit lackadaisical running back there as well. I'll tell you what, it's not making it easy for us in the com box, Garth Thomas.
Well, you can forgive these two batsmen. The first time they've batted together.
First time they've met.
Yep. But, too close for comfort that. After initially making a mistake, overrunning the crease. Kulasuri was well aware of the second run on offer after the overthrow. Scampered through easily, but it was his partner Baisley who was in the spot of bother. This is a great contest here for the young Charlie Hinds.
Oh, and for a moment I thought that might loop into the hand of the backward point fielder. It doesn't. It will run away instead for 4. He's got a couple of big wickets in his pocket already in his career, young Charlie Hara Hinds, and if he was to pick up James Baisley, another one for the pocket. Oh, 2 noises, I think. Might have been sliding down the leg side as well, but tell you what, there's something seemingly happening every ball here.
I'll tell you what, Sabarishi's got plenty of depth in the spin department to choose from, hasn't he?
Tossed up, and Baisley happy just to hit the cover. He knows he's got time on his side.
Sabarish will probably bring himself on after the power play, but he's also got Nihar Palmer with a great tournament with the under-19s with the ball. He's also got Masato Morita, who Todd kept referring to as the Mozzie.
Standard Australian nickname, isn't it? That's the end of over number 5, 24 for 2. If you just joined us and maybe catching up with Japan Premier League, possibly for the first time, welcome. They've gone to a draft system this year, first ever player draft, moving away from the regional model. You had 4 players retained, and then during the draft you had a chance to retain 2 of your players that were picked with a retention card, right to retain. Team A was to select a player that played for Team B's team the year before. Team B had the chance to bring them back. And you get sort of 45 seconds to trigger that. Here comes Yamamoto Lake again. Sort of plays in sort of different phases of the draft, and you kind of had to pick in that phase, and then the latter rounds was sort of Japan offering the local players around who had shown promise and get picked up. Had a squad of 523 players, as you pointed out, Garth, in the previous game as well. 2 minds was Kulasuri there. She had the chance to play an extension card if you needed it. A little bit of extra time between yourselves to kind of make a selection. Keeper. West Kanto wants a keeper. Yamamoto Lake and South Kanto actually pulled one of those retention cards to keep him on the leg side. Should be signalled a wide, and West Kanto had to pivot and they ended up taking Ryan Drake as they're picking that spot. So clearly felt like they needed to add some fast bowling talent early. South Kanto's first pick outside of Sam Wilson to take Fujioka Fletcher. Around the seat today. Well, struck into the leg side, and there's no one out there. They've given up the chase, the fielders. The runners have given up running. They've got 4 to their name.
short ball from Yamamoto Lake and latched onto from Pulistria. Dispatched it well. Just a change in field. They are dropping square leg out to deep square now. The third man has come up into the circle. Sorry, fine leg has come up into the circle.
Pesky left-handers. He's making everything confusing. Approaching the end of the power play here as well. An early win for South Kanto, however, to escape this over without too much damaging. Even then, you could probably say that got the balance of things thanks to 700 hins who save his last over. And this Paisley on the pulse early, running should just be a bye. It is.
Yeah, good call from the non-striker. Through onto it quick enough to make it home safely. The right-hander, a change in field. Daniel, we've just seen the one game on the pitch this morning, and well, it's hard to know how it seemed to be pretty difficult to play on early on. You see, what do you see as a pass score?
It's what? The last ball of power play here. Happy to defend again. So strong power play from the South Kanto Lions, 30 for 2. Feeling out process there, and the question that you ask is, I suppose it's the $1 million question, is though we might see the skipper bring himself onto bowl. We have seen today already that you can go at 10s. I think it might just sort of dry out a little bit this afternoon, and proceedings in the afternoon might be really hard from a batting point of view. I suspect that 160 to 170 would still be a score that you could realistically defend. Maybe some local knowledge here and local intel might suggest otherwise with the dimensions of the ground. We know on one side of the ground it's a little bit smaller with the adjacent field. Savorish Ravi Chandran's leg spin into the attack. He's got the left-hander to deal with first, and then the marquee man, right-handed, Ravi Chandran. Key man for the senior men's national team as well. Ravi Chandran picked up a player of the match in that regional qualifier in PNG in 2020. Finished second. Surya down the track. Looks tidy as a player.
Yeah, he really is a key player for the Japan team, both with bat and ball. I'm just looking at his stats here. He's currently second highest wicket taker for Japan, 35 wickets. It was 34 matches. He generally comes in at this stage after the power play. Very experienced. When I look through the list of most valuable players of Japan cricket scene, he's probably won 5 or 6. His Tigers club, very proud of the Tigers Cricket Club. Until last year, pretty much picked up every trophy in the cabinet. Not so last year, Tokyo Falcons taking the Division 1 prize, but Chandran's Tigers club did pick up the T20 Cup.
Wanting to load up there, Paisley only to the man in the deep, hitting along the carpet. The plane's right so far, right to him. More than happy though just to soak up a couple of balls and find his way into the knock. Outside edge. Second cut off. Good chase that from Super Kings.
Yeah, one aspect that we find very strong here in Japan cricket is the ground fielding. And the fielder's pace to the ball, they certainly can run, and perhaps due to a background in baseball, just schooling. They have very strong arms, the Japanese. So it's been one of their strengths there, their fielding.
We'll take the single. No, not quite up to scratch there. Trying to put pressure on Kulasuri, who is running to the danger end.
Looks to be muddy to that fielder in that position, I think. So,
31 for 2. Spin that over to the wide. Score to tick over for you.
you know, living in Japan for the past couple of years, Daniel, I've often walked past high schools or go and watch sports practices, and I'm always impressed by the quality of throwing, catching, just those, you know, fundamental skills that I think they're way ahead of New Zealanders. When I look at, when I go and watch a local game of softball under 16s, I'm just totally impressed with the fundamental skills that the Japanese, so it must be coming through their PE education system, I imagine, to begin with. Of course, their choice of sport, what club they joined. But, I know in New Zealand our fundamental skills in children are drastically falling. I don't see that here in Japan.
Change the ball here for Super Kings. Dos Muhammad. He's gone!
Yeah, he's
Got behind the key
Yeah.
man. We've heard plenty of good things about this man. Dos Muhammad, he's got the breakthrough. And what a wicket to add to your collection. Just rides on Baisley a little bit, which is tough to do. He's 200 centimetres tall, for goodness sake. That's a massive wicket. What a first impression this man has made. The talk was he bowls rockets, and he's just undone Baisley a little bit for pace.
short of length, wasn't it? Veering in. It was a brilliant delivery, first up delivery to Baisley, and well, you won't forget that wicket in a hurry. Three down now, the North Kanto lines. The start of the 8th over. There's their captain Sakurano Thomas to the wicket. Dos Muhammad, what a delivery.
Sharp again, this time. Driven hard to backward point. And one, the new batter. Man, you know very well.
Yeah.
And Sakurano Thomas at number 5. And as we mentioned, it's been a good week for him, coaching the under-19 men to their World Cup qualification. A busy time towards Singapore as well. We saw him into the offside for one, and
Here's a week of brilliant news for Japan cricket. First, the under-19s, of course, qualifying for the World Cup. But then sort of another story broke in a week. I don't know how much we can talk about it, but it seemed to be you were one of the people involved in breaking the story, Daniel. And that is the return of cricket, or cricket being retained in the Asian Games to be held in Nagoya next year.
It's a great result. I had the meeting on Monday, so it was before Japan had qualified, but yeah, what a week it was. Thomas unable to beat back the point. Yeah, still questions as to how it will look, how many teams it will be. The Aichi Prefecture, which is 450, almost 500 kilometers away from here in Sano, so hosting it here in Sano, at least to this point, looks untenable, but hoping that there's some legacy that sort of lasts, having the facility in place there, whether or not they will take the fields back. Well driven, but straight to the man they call Bear. Cover. There's a chance we get to see him with bat in hand this afternoon. Loves the pull shot. Sam Wilson, anything short will be put away, and again, if you're in the tee room or maybe even on the adjacent field, it's probably time to look out in the crowd. The tail, oh, mix up, oh dear me. It's going to be Sakurano Thomas that sacrifices himself. He called one straight away. It was hit straight to Sam Wilson at cover, and albeit with a little bobble and a fumble, to complete the run out.
Comedy of errors, really, wasn't it? In the end, choosing to sacrifice himself. Probably, yeah. Kushan is there on 16 off his 24 deliveries.
He must have just thought he just got a little bit wider of Wilson at cover, and in the end, never really a single there. Clausoria would have been in great danger coming back to that end throw to the keeper's glove. So I think Rayo, having seen his own error,
decided to take
fall
the
on his
fall.
own sword. Yeah.
Did he pick it up clean?
Yeah, I think he did. Yeah, and strange, really disappointed with that. Not the greatest start to his campaign with bat in hand, but we'll see him with the new ball, most certainly. So
we're 4 down now on North Kanto lines. Just
charging in. As he must have hit up Suka, a new batter for the Lions, and yeah, that ended excellent. I don't know if it's often come over. And then Suka was the man had to get himself out of the way of that one of the total. And yeah, this innings now almost completely hinges on Kulasuria's output, and you see a change in the field, obviously a right-left combination, but it's as though they're going to only just keep the 3 fielders out. And well down the leg side, you can tell only the offside contingent was up and about asking the question. The China didn't bother.
Yeah, beats Bear.
Yeah, Gunnerside boy by birth, so country New South Welshman, Sam Wilson. Not too far from Tamworth, about an hour or so drive from that part of the world, country New South Wales. Moved up north of the border.
And for his club, he's a middle order batsman?
Yeah, tends to come in at 3 and 4. Compact left-hander. No backwards, but slightly leg side. Everything going the way of Super Kings to begin this match and their campaign. 41 4, 9 overs gone here at the SICG.
Yeah, they're well on top, the Super Kings.
Even after they've lost the toss and were told to bowl first. Much the happier of the two teams beginning their respective campaigns. You see the second over of Dos Muhammad, Max Cricket Club player.
Yeah, he started with a hiss and a roar, taking the big wicket of the marquee player, Baisley. Now, we have to continue. Long run up.
He hasn't been in Japan terribly long, Dos Muhammad. Play and miss. Only the third match I can find across all of the leagues in Japan in which Dos Muhammad's featured. So 3 for 15 in a game against the Alpha Quashers, Yokohama, back in early April, and then 2 weeks later against the Kawasaki Knight Riders, he took 2 for 47, 12 wides in that spell. He's certainly pushing them through. There's a bit of talk around during the draft when he got picked up. It might just be a sort of a diamond in the rough.
Mm-hmm. As you say, he's pushing it through well, and on strike at the moment, Kazumasa Hiratsuka. Local player, knows this ground very well. Grew up playing this cricket here, plays currently for Sano.
Oh, they take on the middle field. Torek hits out. Oh, he's missed. Right, he had...
Looks like Sabarich down there, doesn't it?
2.5, maybe 2 stumps to aim at on that angle. He did the first part right. Sabarich is missing. Yeah, to give you an indication, Dos Muhammad was the penultimate pick from the Super Kings in the draft. He was 41, so when you've got a player like that picked in that spot, who can make such an impact, it's a massive boost and a massive boon for the rest of the team. Just take the pressure off a little bit on almost everyone else. The firepower with ball in hand. Turn down the leg side and they can't quite glove cleanly. Skip through for an extra one. Kanto.
Of course, Kazumasa Hiratsuka, a member of the original, the under-19s that made the first ever World Cup for Japan, way back in 2019. Actual tournament was in 2020, and it was in South Africa. I'm sure 6 years on, Japan have learned a lot more and have progressed in the game. They'll cross to Zimbabwe early next year, a lot more better for it.
That's the 1-1 that smartly turn it down. Yeah, the impression that I've sort of got from coaching staff and the JCA is that this class is a stronger one than the one that took part in 2020, and we know about kind of the extenuating circumstances how they qualify. I mean, they still could have qualified with a win on the final day, and in the end, you know, we didn't see that come to fruition, unfortunately. But 4 years on, or 5 years on, there's a lot to get excited about. At least they'll take the one that's good running.
Yeah, good running.
You're going to need to eke out every single possible run that they can here, and
I think a big part of it also, how Japan's progressed in the game is their entry into the ACC, this under-19 group now. Been across to Dubai a couple of times, and then played the likes of Pakistan under-19s, India under-19s, the UAE, Bangladesh. They're gaining invaluable experience and taking on some of the world's best teams in that age group. So it's all going to bode well for their trip to Zimbabwe next year.
should be a wide. So the last ball, the 10th over, will be re-bowled. 46 ball. We'll keep you updated with the score verbally, just as we get the live scoring on the stream back and up for you. Being a part of the ACC now is a wonderful move for Japan as well. More cricket, more competitions, closer opponents as well. It's a strange one. Almost just lodged in his clothing, and he's almost kicked it to mid-off, unintentionally, of course. 46 for 4. That's the halfway mark. 10 overs bowled, and the Super Kings in control. Through that man who just completed his second over, 1 for 7 to begin his campaign. And as we discussed, the Under-19 World Cup and everything surrounding that, a man who I'm sure will play a big part in that campaign, coming on to bowl now from the high school end. Neha Palmer, leg spinner, took the wicket to complete the win and punch World Cup tickets. It's history that no one will be able to take away from him. Enjoyed a fine tournament as well. There's plenty of potential in this youngster, maybe out in the top order here today as well. Opens the batting for the 19s with Nikhil Cole. For a moment I thought he might have picked up a wicket first ball. He's had such success from a wicket with his last delivery in the 19s. He's almost picked up a wicket first ball here at the JPL. Everything he seems to do with the ball, touch has turned to gold. Little purple patch there. Words of encouragement from Sam Wilson at cover. This one's pulled into the leg side, dropped a fraction short. End up going for 4. It beats the man, so well placed in the end.
Now, of course, Neha Palmer, he's got skill not just with the ball but with the bat as well. Scoring 106 there probably 3 weeks ago now would it be in Singapore. I believe the highest standing score by any Japanese team.
Yeah, across men's and women's, under-19s and seniors, the highest individual score. And I was talking to Alan Kerr about it yesterday, that innings, and he just said it was just a progression through the gears that they were so impressed with. It took time early just to see off the new ball, or see the new ball, get a decent eye on it, and the way he just kept going. And by the end of it, he was basically doing whatever he wanted. Round the corner, some talk of 2, but the deep does well and cleans up. Yeah, it was a shame that match ended up being a no result, that 160 that he made. I fancy that Japan would have defended that total. Swept hard. Man running around, 1 bounce for 4, just out of his reach that. Well placed and well timed by Hiratsuka. And you look at the replay here, Garth, and took that from well outside the off stump and split the fielders expertly.
Just with the end of the over, I'll update you on ground 2. Kansai Chargers taking on East Kanto Sunrisers. Currently Chargers 64 for 1. Alex Shudai Patmore 29 not out alongside Declan Suzuki 17 not out. It's the 1 wicket to fall there, that of Jack Wood, a big wicket.
Review, look, there's 2 senior internationals batting over there. Looking to rebuild after the loss of the marquee man, and over here we've got spin both ends. Looks to be Masmo Morita's first over of the campaign. Another leg spinner. A little short to begin, but definitely the spot to miss with the offside fielders in front of square in the deep. Slight change of field, bringing Palmer inside the circle, saving 1. Down the track, Hiratsuka. Yes! Roku.
Doskoi, as the Japanese team would say. The maximum, lovely shot from Hiratsuka. Giving himself room and just pumping it over cover.
Yeah, he's just a 15-year-old Morita when he played in the Under-19 World Cup for Japan. He's still only 20 now, so he turns 21 in 2 weeks' time. Hiratsuka whacking into the leg side. 2018, 2004. He's been around the circuit. Benson can't quite get down to that ball. 4 for 38 against Vanuatu in that qualification run that took them a long way towards qualifying. Shima from Tokyo. Reversed by Hiratsuka, but straight to Palmer at, I was going to say 45, I ended up getting done by the reverse sweep. Third man, of course. Hiratsuka goes over the head for 6. He did not get to the pitch of the ball. He did not care. He puts this one about 5 metres over the rope. What a piece of batting this is to end that over.
What an over it was. 15 runs coming from it. The previous best was 7, and that was off over number 5. So big over. It's amazing what a bit of momentum can do. Saw it in the earlier game. Can these two keep going? Give themselves something to defend, to score perhaps around 120. Who knows?
Might have dropped a little bit short of the course of the over. Yeah, 15. Tough initiation for Morita's first over of the campaign. Kurosue, meanwhile, just gone about his business here, holding the fort as Hiratsuka launches next to him. Not quite at a run of ball yet, but they've just been able to give themselves at least a little platform to launch. Into the gap again. His placement's been really good today. In the end, his timing will only mean that that doesn't go to the rope. Picks up 2. Yeah, at every turn you've got a player who's played some sort of impact at the international level. Swing and a miss on that occasion from Hiratsuka.
This looks like Kulasuria's role is to anchor the innings here, doesn't it? And Ratska, well, he's at the opposite end of the spectrum. He looks like he's going after everything.
Chipped into the offside. If you look at Fletcher out there.
Yeah, I imagine we'll see him have a bowl in the not too distant future.
Seamers foot, yeah. Get a bowl spin. Man out there, but it'll fall short. Just the one. This contest is really opened up into an intriguing one now. A partnership of notes helping them along. This has been demolished over the sight screen for 6. The timing, Hiratsuka, effortless, and this flies over the bowler's head for half a dozen.
Yeah, wonderful shot, wasn't it? Just a shuffle of the feet, and didn't look to overhit it. Just full timing, and as you say, landed probably 10, 15 metres over the boundary rope. Wonderful little contribution here from Kazumasa Hiratsuka, the local player. And it looks like Sabarish, yeah, is bringing himself back on.
Feeling like he just needs to stem the flow of runs a little bit here. He's had to bring himself on.
26 off the last 2 overs.
Oh, it's a bit of a dirty word or dirty term at the moment, but a moral victory. Probably victory for North Kanto. Just a little counter-attacking punch. This forced the opposition captain into a move. Unable to connect on that occasion. Into a gap again. Placement is superb, and the fielders, well, granted it's a large gap, but neither of them within 20 yards of that ball after it crossed the road.
Yeah, you called it. Just dissected the both of them. They could just watch as it sailed past the boundary rope. Can he keep going, Kazumasa?
Great knock this. He's blinked up here and he's gone to 30. One more time. That fielder's just come a little bit straighter. In the end, still tilted to just one, but this is where it gets. This is where it becomes really satisfying for the Japan Cricket Association. And a player like Ratsuka is not on the national team radar right now, but he's come out and made a massive difference.
Very true. It's just that depth that they continue to build, isn't it? He is. He's currently in the Japan A squad,
Yep.
but as you say, there's always room for promotion from the A squad into the main squad. He's certainly making a well fielded out there on the boundary. Just the one from it.
So another over of prosperity for North Kanto Lions. 14 gone, 89 for 4. So works that run rate now up above a run a ball. And you'll think that after 9 overs, after 8 overs, they were 37 for 4. They've just lost James Basil and Rao Safarana Thomas in a nightmare double blow in the same over. For a bit of hope here. Kulasuriya, he's missed time, running in. Oh, what a grab! Goodness gracious me, that's the highlight of the day. Fujioka Fletcher with an all-time grab at long on. Watch this back time after time.
I just heard someone on the stand yell out, "There's no need to dive, mate." But what a grab! Brilliant from the young cricketer. Had to make his way to his right, probably 5 to 8 metres, but it was losing his feet to take the catch and just landing inside the boundary rope as well. Spectacular catch.
It was a great adjustment. I thought for a moment he might have just run a little bit too far in.
And just some more acknowledgement from the spectators close to that boundary rope of the effort that he'd made.
Yeah, not far from the tea room, and smug look on Dylan Budrioka Fletcher's face, and for good reason. You won't find too many better catches than that wherever you go around the world, let alone here in Sarnal. Seen a lot of good cricket over the last few years. And that moment right there is one for the highlight reel. I suspect we'll be seeing that a few more times over.
Important take for his team, really. That partnership had built to 52. And,
I haven't even had a chance to discuss that point in all of that. Meanwhile, Palmer picks up his second wicket. Again, every time he seems to come on, things start to happen. Colbert, the new batter for North Kanto.
slight misfield will cost them an extra run.
Again, Hiratsuka targeting that gap. It's been tightened up a little bit more. Pull Sawyer out of the equation. Well judged single there from Colbert. End of the over, 94 for 5. 15 gone. In the final 5 overs. Probably time for us to play the predictions game.
Yeah. You first, eh?
Hopefully you didn't say that. No.
I was so off in the first game that I'm a little hesitant.
Yeah. You'd think that sort of anything in the 130s, I think North Kanto would look. They wouldn't have taken it maybe at the start of the innings, but after the flights that they've had, it might just be a score that they can play to.
Morita into the attack, full toss, dropped. Got a deep square, forward square.
It doesn't look like it's been a signal no ball either.
Colbert gets away with one. Ravichandran showing faith in the young bowler, Morita.
Colbert, tipped over the rope for 6 on that occasion. That's unfortunate. It was a good leap by the long on fielder.
6 number 4 for Hiratsuka. What an innings he's playing for his team here.
Over just. Wilson tried his utmost, and in the end it ends in another boundary. The gap finding from Hiratsuka has been top shelf today. Swiping into the leg side. It'll probably just be one.
They will know each other well, Morita and Hiratsuka, having been a part of that under-19 team to South Africa in 2019. They also play a lot of cricket, junior cricket together. Morita doesn't play for Sano, whereas Hiratsuka does, but they would have faced each other numerous times, know each other's game very well.
Dropped down by Maruta. Not punished on that occasion. I'll just give you a run through of the games that we've had and games that we've got in progress. We'll update you in a moment. Playing this, there was a question asked, but the over has been completed. 106 for 5, and we missed the first match here on ground number 1. It was a win for East Kanto Sunrisers, who pulled back control after a couple of occasions where it looked like West Kanto Hurricanes were going to get away. In the end, it was a 27-run win, defending 138. That was a 15-over-a-side game due to the rain we had yesterday in Sano. The Kanto Chargers North Kanto Lions match on the other ground was abandoned because of the wet nature of the ground. And then we've got 2 games going on at the moment, of course, this one which you are watching. Thank you for joining us. On the other field, Kanto Chargers have made a really nice rebuild. They have lost 2 quick wickets and got to 83 for 2 against the Sunrisers, who are backing up and playing their second match of the day. Charlie Hara-Hin's back. And Hiratsuka unable to find the middle of his bat. There's a little bit more protection for Hara-Hin's, but it's Hiratsuka's moment in the sunshine of Sano as he celebrates a 27-ball 50 and a top shelf innings. Ball 1, and after great little fighting, counter-attacking knock from a Japan A member looking to make a thundering first impression at the tournament.
Yeah, and he'll be having a bowl later on too, Kazumasa. But he's certainly made a great contribution to his team, which will hopefully continue for North Kanto. Play some beautiful shots straight and up to cow corner.
He's got all of that as well. Add another half a dozen to the total. What did this man have for lunch? I'll have what he's having.
I've seen him play a lot of matches before for Sano. I haven't seen him sort of in this style. He usually noodles it around.
But take the party tricks out. I don't think that's hit the bat. Chris Thurgate maybe just signalling this is wide. And wait for the ball to be dead. Well, it is a wide, so it's 2 to the target and that's the result.
I'm not saying he can't find the boundary, but on this occasion he just seems to finding the boundary on the regular. He's having a great innings.
And he's finally been brought undone, and it's taken the quality of Charlie Hara-Hin's to undo him. It's Tom Colbert. Apologies there, I've mixed up my 8s and 18s there. Good piece of bowling by Charlie Hara-Hin's to remove Colbert. I stand corrected.
Yeah, another wicket for Hinds. Oh, age 16. He's proving his might not just with the under-19s but also at senior level. Already a member, of course, of the Japan national squad. In fact, I think he's the 8th youngest to debut for his nation in cricket. Real talent, and what an amazing future he's going to have for Japan cricket.
Just when North Kanto Lions had made another press, it's the 3rd wicket that Hins to stem the flow. Final ball, the 17th over, he's pushed into the leg side. Haratsuka wants to come back and he's turned away. I think probably the right decision. So Charlie Hins bowls out, 3 for 25 on his day. North Kanto 117 for 6, and aspirations of 140 still within the realms of possibility, albeit 6 wickets down, but you've got yourself a set batter who's 56 not out off under 20 balls.
Yeah, 3 4s and 5 6s to Kazumasa Haratsuka.
Rabi Dewan, the new batter for North Kanto. It's going to be Dos Muhammad to return. So looking maybe for firepower to run through this tail. Eats in for pace. No sign of him dipping in pace either from his first spell coming back, and maybe a little bit later in the innings, a little bit of tiredness and fatigue running around in the field, but no sign of that. Wicket's fallen over at the other ground.
Yeah, good call and run.
The dismissed batter over on the other ground. Kanto 105 for 3. The 17th over, so the Sunrisers maybe with an opportunity to go back to back, twice up wins. Haratsuka wants to take on the pace. He probably doesn't need to come down the track. Yeah, just a reminder that Kansai North Kanto game was a washout over on field number 2.
Yeah, it's 2 points for a win in the format, 1 point for a draw. Round robin format for a Monday afternoon final and 3rd, 4th playoff. Muhammad bowling his pace.
Again, Haratsuka wants to come down the track. There'll be at least one probably smartly opting not to come back.
Another wicket falls on ground 2. Daki on ground 1.
Take on Wilson at cover. one
Yeah.
of the innings now where you're more focused on saving the boundaries more than anything else.
I can understand their one drop and run there. Getting Ratska back on strike. As many balls as possible in his last remaining 2 and a bit overs.
Bottom edge. It's the end of Dos Muhammad's first impression at the APL. He's got 1 over to go, 1 for 10. With his 3 overs, he's been thorn in the side of North Kanto.
Yeah, I guess decision time for Sabarish Ravichandran on who he goes to for these final 2 overs. Yamamoto Lake has 1 remaining, as does Sabarish himself. Muhammad also. Palmer. Kifa Yamamoto Lake has been in the selection. Bowling this time from the school end. A change of ends for him.
Ravichandran might have considered himself, but you might have seen the way that Ratchet was played spin today and almost had to kind of fight against it, not the pace instead, which is probably a strange thing to say when a team is 120 for 6, but he just had such control that might come into the consideration. I've reached into Rudolph, Fujioka Fletcher there, tidying up and keeping to 1. It brings Ratsuka on strike.
Constantly hearing the voice of Sam Wilson out there, Daniel, which is great to see. Just helping out these younger, less experienced cricketers. Valuable the learnings they can take from him and his experience.
Goes hard, goes long, goes all the way.
Brilliant knock, this one from Kazumasa Hiratsuka, local player. Just making things look easy. Just the timing of the ball. He's not the biggest of blokes. This time scoops and does so, won't pick up the boundary, but will pick up an easy 2.
Party tricks now. I thought he'd be better off standing and delivering as he has been for the rest of the innings, but can't fault the extra 2 runs that he's picked up here into the 19th over. He's on 63. And outside of that unconventional shot, there really hasn't been a whole lot of risk in this knock, in execution. And there again, not needing to come down the track to play that shot, but it was a good reply from Yamamoto Lake, maybe just not attacking the stumps and forcing wide outside the off stump. Early shout of 2. Dewan was out of the blocks early, and then the turn was good too. Vital just to churn that extra run. Give Hatsuka another delivery in this over. Kazumasa Hiratsuka. What a day it's been. 2 noises. We'll think about 2 again here. In the end, they don't. You keep the strike to begin the final over. 132 for 6. Keith Yamamoto Lake ends up wicketless without reward. It was a pretty good spell, it must be said, for him. And he went for 26 off the 4 overs. North Kanto, the goal of 130 has been met. 140 would make things very intriguing this afternoon.
Mohammed to bowl the final over here. Can they get up to 140, the North Kanto Lions? That's gone strike.
Goes early. There's a man out there that will prevent the boundary. They'll still collect 2. It makes you just wonder if the risk is worth the reward there when you've been so successful going hard and straight. You've got a 45 fielder and a man coming over from deep third. I suppose if you beat Marita a little bit closer to his right, it probably beats him.
Yeah, the shot wasn't too far from leg stump, was it?
Just noticing Ravi Chandran moving that 45 fielder just a little bit around to kind of prevent that shot. 5 fielders out, 2 behind square on the offside, and then 2 out at long on and dead mid wicket. Looks like this will just be 1. So a win really for Dos Muhammad there. Brings the run on strike. Interesting to see who feels they'll be the happier at the innings break. I get the impression that South Kanto is still on top, but whether or not this innings from Bratic has really taken the wind out of the fielding team's sails. That has been walloped into the leg side. Well whipped. It wasn't exactly the delivery for it, but the adjustment was superb.
Yeah, he just gave himself a bit of room, sticking across to the offside, and just lovely pull shot. Cleared the rope by 6-8 metres. Dewan getting into the action here, his first 6. Just the 3 balls remaining in the innings.
Goes deep in the crease, but can't provide a decent connection. It brings Ratzika back on strike, and another milestone ticked off. They've passed 140. 2 good blows here will get them to 150. The complexion of the game completely changed after the team being 4 for 37 for 4 at one point. Run a bite. Marcus Thurgate got caught a little unawares there. One did well.
And with that, Kazumasa Raska will remain unbeaten on 72. Fine display of batting skill from him today. Much needed contribution for the team effort. And he scored almost half the team's runs total.
Yeah, big criminal, wouldn't it, if he was to somehow big run out off this final ball, wouldn't it? Whipped around. He will take on the fielder. They'll probably throw to the other end. They do. It's actually hit the stumps at the striker's end, but I think he's made his ground. They didn't even bother, haven't appealed. Strange.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, Thurgate's given. No, I'm not sure if it was just the ball he was asking for. Very strange piece of cricket that. I think they've run a 2. So 145 for 6 the score. And, well, if Kazumasa Hiratsuka does not get carried off, then they should give him a rapturous round of applause, because it was a knock of the highest order in a hole that they were in. For them to post 145, almost unfathomable considering the position that they were in. 71 of 40 deliveries. It's probably been the highlight of the day thus far, with all due respect to the game going on the other field that we haven't really had a chance to have our eyes on. Top shelf batting, and how much can they take from that, Garth Thomas, psychologically? 146 as a target, maybe on paper, doesn't look like it's a particularly imposing score, but the way that they've got there and the way that it's happened, the question gets thrown up at least.
You're dead right. They dug themselves out of the hole, and it was all due to one man. I guess he had good support, did Kazumasa, but when he entered the frame, the team were at 37 for 4 in the 7th over. And yeah, just a fabulous innings from him. Supported well with, at first, Kashan Kulasoria. And towards the end with Dewan, but certainly the contribution from Kazumasa Hiratsuka, 71 of 40 balls, 3 4s, 6 6s, really has got his team into a position that it can be defendable. And I guess Sam Wilson's going to play a big part of this. They can take his wicket early. They're in the game. Savarish Ravichandran, he'll be in the top 6. Alistair Karawaki Fleming. Charlie Hinds can bat well. Yeah, they do have depth in their batting to the South Kanto Super Kings. Nihar Palmer as well. Shogo Kimura, you know he can hit a boundary or two. So, contest, I see it being quite an even one. We could be heading towards a last over finish, who knows, but we'll be back in around
20 minutes time.
Nice.
players and umpires back on to the field. Second half of this one, just a couple of moments away. South Kanto Super Kings, SK, 146 to win. At a rate just above 7 and over. James Baisley has been given the new ball. Now it looks like we have ourselves Shogo Kimura facing up. So two men who know a lot about elite professional sport going toe to toe. Who would have thought that one day these two men would go head to head in a game of cricket?
Shogo Kimura of Hiroshima Carp, previous baseball professional, taking on James Baisley.
Dylan Fujioka Fletcher at the non-strikers end for the Super Kings. Just awaiting the scorers to be ready to go.
Just while we're waiting, the update on ground 2, the innings came to an end after 20 overs. Kansai charges 134 for 10. So back here on ground 1.
Play and miss early. A little feeling out process, and now the energy in the North Kanto camp has to be up and about. They need some early wickets, and they know that this man is the spearhead of their attack, capable of ripping through the opposition.
It's a good ball first after bowler Shogo Kimura. Can't bowl short, get too straight against him. He loves mid-wicket region, very strong in that area.
I missed, not quite the footwork there across to the pitch of the ball. You can see that Kimura goes about his business. Big Nick heard all the way up here, and Shogo Kimura departs. That ball safely falling into the keeper's mitts. And after he was ambushed with the bat, James Baisley finds success with the ball.
Yeah, I'm just trying to check on actually who the keeper is. It could be Koji
think it's
Hargrave.
Koji, yeah.
It is Koji. Well, a position I've not seen him play in previously. Who knows? Maybe Hastings Boys College. But generally for the under-19s, when he was captaining the under-19s, Daniel, he was usually mid-off, mid-on, and short usually. Looking to keep having a chat to the bowler. Great start though for North Kanto. As you say, they needed it. They probably need one or two more. Well, he's coming at number 3 today. As you probably expect, Sam Wilson, otherwise known as Bear.
This is a contest for the ages. We haven't had marquee v marquee matchup as yet on the number 1 ground. And those around the traps will be looking at this with great interest. Wilson up early, looking to beat point. Loud shout of no's, it hits the fielder.
Yeah, it's already a success really, the tournament, isn't it? Daniel, just seen this in front of our eyes here on Sano International Cricket Ground in Japan. What a contest. I'm sure all the teammates will be lapping it up as well.
Big shot of one. And the man at point just unable to pick up cleanly and take a pot at the non-strikers and stumps. It brings Dylan Fujioka Fletcher on strike.
How do you think they're going to approach the power play, Daniel? Like, we know North Kanto is slow, very slow. Do they see that as an opportunity to take the game and just try and push the risks of it?
In some ways, there's a bit of a parallel to the first game today, isn't there? And we did see in the second innings that chasing team West Kanto did fall away, so they might feel like they need a quicker start here. Into the leg side.
Fielded. Yeah, I'm just trying to think what the power play score was. Was it in the early 30s? We'll check that out for you.
Look, I normally write things like that down. I've caught myself on the hop here. 2 games a day.
I'm not trying to test
with
you.
that 1 for 1. No, it's okay. You're being tested. You can't get better if you don't get tested, right?
We were four down for.
No, 37 for 4 at one point.
Yeah. Actually, that was over 7. So yeah, no, it'll be interesting to see how they go about this run chase. Safari Travi Chandran, I imagine, will come in probably 4, 5. Everyone had a big say in the matter.
They were 30 for 2 at the end of the power play. And Baisley was still in at that point. He was dismissed not long after. Double wicket over with the run out, of course, of Reo Sakurano Thomas.
And then the plot completely changed, entering Kazumasa Hiratsuka. And just changed the game, didn't it?
Looks like it's another shot for Chandamar. No, left arm orthodox. Oh, has he picked out the man? He has!
That's Ash Thurgate.
Ash Thurgate! Look, he's done a lap around the ground. No one's going to be able to stop this man.
Ash Thurgate just set off on a 30-metre run, and, well, who didn't enjoy that? Big wicket.
James Baisley was the first man to intercept him, running around. Just watching it back again. It's still going.
Brilliant. And, well, 2 down. It's just the start North Kanto would have wanted.
Quiet day for the marquee batters.
Well, I know last year Josh Brownwally lit up ground number 1, not so on ground number 2. I do remember him saying he's not so much of a fan of the wicket on ground 2. But they have relayed it, I believe. Ash Thurgate on the edge of the circle. It's a good catch. It was hit solidly.
Oh, he might have picked him out again. No. Goodness me. Ash Thurgate. As we see, another dot ball.
Just wonder if we'll see Ash bowling to brother Marcus later on. Who knows? He's in the play
they
again.
take on Thurgate. Yeah, and you can't quite pick up in time to take a shot at the stumps. Yeah, the Oscar to Thurgate. At some stage,
They not afraid to put the youngsters out. Really, real test there for the.
great shot. That's a small gap, and Thurgate loves his running, but even he's not bothered chasing that one. He's never going to catch it.
Yeah. Lovely shot for 4, alright.
Leans on this one. Paisley at backward point. Long arms, long reach.
Beautiful fielding, eh? God, he made that look easy.
Backhanded throw to the keeper
Yeah.
as if he's done it a million times before.
Classy.
7 for 2. Already parallels to the first innings.
And some good plays. That last shot from Fujioka Fletcher was a lovely shot for 4. As I say, a little pressure on the youngsters here. Charlie Hinn's just 16 years of age, and Fujioka Fletcher probably around. We'll bring that to you. Another youngster, perhaps 17. I do believe from Tauranga, New Zealand.
Shot. Goodness me.
Bang!
Into the tent. Takes on James Baisley.
That is stunning from Fujioka Fletcher. What a shot. Obviously I need to do some more research on this lad, but I think out of the Bay of Plenty from New Zealand, it's come across to the tournament.
20 years of age, October 2004.
A brilliant start here.
Well, we have seen Baisley take the wicket of Shogo Kimura. It's been a day where he's been shown that the wares of Japanese cricket are certainly strong. He's been struck for a massive 6. He was undone by some Dos Muhammad pace. Down the leg side, no appeal from Baisley.
Yeah, true. It'll give the Japanese players a lot of confidence, won't it? To know that, they can play at a higher level.
Unfortunately, able to make a start either today. Jamison, a few blows in anger, but didn't make a start either.
Yeah, I'd be really interested in talking to them about the wicket, what they think of the wicket, how it plays. We do know this. The Japanese wicket is favours turn. Spinner's wicket, though you do get a bit of swing, a bit of movement with the ball early on, especially first 5 or 6 overs. Big wicket has fallen on ground 2.
Yeah, big cheer went up.
Could
Take the moment.
Could
It's a
that be?
Kendall.
It could be Karawaki Fleming. Some cheers are louder than others.
Yes. Oh,
Shot.
brilliant shot. Backing away and muscling through cover for 4.
Third stunning shot from Fujioka Fletcher. I believe has a younger brother too.
Yes,
Was in the under the Futures League, right?
Yeah, and in one of the other squads taking part this summer.
Right. The electronic scoreboard has just fallen over here at Sano with a bit of a gust. The gust of wind brought that down. It looks okay.
Yeah, I've just noticed that no score on it, so I'm hoping it hasn't been here terribly long.
I'm sure we'll shortly see Head of Operations Cricket Japan, Alan Kerr. I need to check on that. 11 already off the over.
Over the top of mid-wicket, and it should run away for 4. He hasn't got all of it. Not that it really matters.
This is impressive from Dylan. End of the over, sorry, that was the last ball. I was thinking the 20-year-old might be comfortable with 11 already off the over, but no, takes another boundary. They really are attacking, well he is. After a terrible start for the team, he's got them up to 18 for 2. 3 overs done.
Into the 20s as well, 22 for 2. Yeah,
that's
way
behind, right. Of course I was.
We'll have a quick answer to SOCG free Wi-Fi, the IT department maybe on that one.
It does lag a bit, doesn't it? You think Benjamin Ethel Davis is in charge of that?
Maybe over there.
Yeah.
That reminds me, check the score from that other game. As promised. And this time. Hopefully won't be able to get down to that, and in the end they'll run 2. The throw is wide into the keeper as well. I barely uttered the name Charlie Hunter in the last hour or so. He's out there joining Dylan Fujioka Fletcher, who's taken all the headlines of this innings thus far, it must be said. These Kanto Sunrisers are 5 for 1 in the 3rd over, and it was Mitch Jamison who was dismissed. That is muscled again with panache. This time from Charlie Hunter-Hins. Just manipulating the field there, staying leg side of the ball, dumping over cover. Shows you all you need to know about this man. There's a bit of a shuffle in the order for East Kanto. Kendra Karawakatoni actually threw himself down to number 3. Abhishek Anand opened the batting with Mitchell Jamison. Cutting again through the gap. On the ground this time. The man in the deep does a good job. It'll be 3 though. The good thing that sponsor fence is where it is. You would have probably had to have dived over the top of that, saving that ball.
Koshan plays for the local Sano club, does Koshan. Usually opens the batting for his local team. Bowling wise is usually first change.
See a few of the West Kanto Hurricanes players around on their bye. Locking Yamamoto Lake down there, watching on the mid-wicket boundary. West Kanto players in the nets as well, prepping for tomorrow. Oh, for a moment he was interested, the bowler following through for Surya. Struck well, but straight to Ash the Thurgate. Mid off.
He struck it so well, there's no run there, right? Hitting the ball cleanly is Fletcher.
4 overs gone.
You've been here a bit more recently than I have, Daniel, but where I'm from, Toyama, it gets pretty gloomy around 5:30. When's sunset here?
We never really got pushed for time here in the matches that we did have, but I think we just held out and we were okay.
Yeah, you're right. Because I remember watching maybe the first game, which was reduced to a 35 over. We started about 12:45, and I was thinking, wow, it could get dark, but the match never went the distance, right? So.
Yeah, the sun well and truly up, and I suppose it helps we're not, it doesn't set on the mountain side of the ground here, beautiful Kawasawa Mountains here. Rao Sakurano Thomas into the attack. for a moment I thought that backward point was interested. I'm not sure, it might have been a little bit flat-footed there. Quarter of the total. Another wicket falls over on ground number 2.
Yeah, pretty good catch, whoever it was.
He's looking to climb into another one, but straight to cover.
Bowling from the mountain end, as we term it here, Karasawa.
Man out there to keep that to 1. Yeah, it's a good climb up there. Not terribly tall mountain, but it's pretty arduous. It's a pretty steep climb in parts. It's a little sort of half-day trip you can do here in Sano.
You would have seen a lot of cats up there around the temple.
Yeah. You've been up there a few times.
Yeah, our first visit actually to Sano. We took that little walker. Well, we drove the car up and walked around, so
into the car park.
wasn't as tough. Nice pick up then from Koji Hargrave Arbe with the gloves. Right-handed in the air.
Muscle this into an open pocket of the ground. They should get 2, and they do. Hasn't really quite been Sakura Thomas's day as yet.
No.
His first over and struck
for those. Let's go back to the run out.
Self-inflicted though.
Self-inflicted, and I'm glad he took the sacrifice. Really,
he did, yeah.
Because Koshan it was, his Sano teammate. It's like there's no run there.
Oh, big shout. Yeah, that going on to hit the top of middle stump. It might have kept a fraction low. The wicket here the afternoon maybe getting a little slower and lower. And, well, the opposite of the commentator's curse, Reo Sakurano Thomas. That one probably going on to hit middle and leg.
Kiwi to Kiwi. They don't look too far apart in New Zealand. Charlie Hims remains, and I guess it may be, I'm just looking down the list, is it Sabarish? Surely he wants to take control of the match.
I think so. Yeah, he's number 18 out there for SKSK. A little bit of that in there.
Yeah.
Fergate, Palmer.
Most definitely.
So it was not lost for the Super Kings, but it certainly would rather be
Well, it's
in their
almost
opponent's spot.
gone a similar way to how North Kanto started, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's a great point.
Just need a partnership of sorts.
Ronald Thomas into his international teammate. Oh, has it carried? Not quite to the fly slip. It'll go for 4. Wouldn't mind seeing a replay of that. It might have carried him just wide of him, in fact. Let's have a look. He's positioned a long way back, as you can see. Yeah, I think it was just short.
Yeah, I couldn't spot who it was out there, but yeah, you're right.
Chandamark was.
Falling short.
He'll come on with ball from the other end.
For those that were watching the first innings, North Kanto, they were 37 for 4. And then they put on a 99 run partnership. Something South Kanto, perhaps not 99, but a 40 or a 50 will get them back on track in this game. That is 5 o'clock, Daniel. If you're wondering what the chime is, you would have heard them at lunchtime.
Midday. Yeah, I think we've had a game
You don't often
go on until 5
Right.
o'clock to hear it. So
and you wouldn't expect a 5 o'clock bow
No.
at school, would you? Certainly not in New Zealand.
I don't might have been Chandamar from World Cup, but they're just going to call Surya to continue. Had a wind on strike. Absolutely rocketed to cover, but straight to him. Captain, it looks like they're tricky part of the ground there with the synthetic surface in front of him.
Yeah, never liked that myself.
Oh, and this time wide of Sakurano Thomas is a man in pursuit. He might just get there. And it's a great piece of fielding out there, and it's the man who has done very little wrong today, Kazumatsu Hiratsuka.
Yeah, and I want to say a well executed shot. I want to say he was in total control of that. Knew where Sakurano was and just put it 3 metres to the left of him. So again finds the gap.
Turning the field across the right-left combination. Last over of the power play, they've stuck with spin. 2 men out, both on the leg side, with a deep mid-wicket and a deep long on, and packed infield on the offside. Skipper will know Ravichandran well, of course, senior international teammates. Beats the man at mid-off. The man at long on, though, does well and keeps it to 2. Hiratsuka again. Good piece of bowling. Chandran called through. Just to wait the signal from Mr. Thurgate. It runs off the bat. Then go the over. As the men in blue just try and rectify the situation. 48 for 3 at the end of the power play.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll see Kazumasa Hiratsuka with the ball in hand too, having a bowl at some stage. And when the captain wants him, he does often get a little bit of a way movement.
So 30 for 2 was the North Kanto power play by comparison. South Kanto 48 for 3. Still further ahead in terms of their pursuit, but wants to get the wicket. Ravichandran happy to take one. There's another wicket over at the other ground. The impression of Ben Davis that's dismissed, who made a half century in the first match. I think unanimous player of the match in that game. Yeah, he's been dismissed by Uluru-san. So Kanto Fleming still out there for East Kanto over at the other ground. He faced 3 balls in the first 4.3 overs, coming in at number 3. Ravichandran takes on the wicketkeeper.
Yeah, East Kanto 15 for 3 in the spot of bother.
outside edge. Ravichandran, man's deep now. Oh, they're coming back for a second, and I tell you what, an interesting moment there. A good throw would have made that a tight run, but Ravichandran maybe just picking and shooting his fielders. Is that a no ball shout that I just heard? It was.
It was. Not the first from that end.
Yeah, it's just been a...
I want to say
real
we've seen
curiosity today.
5 or 6 from that end. Just as the sun sets in the part of the ground, I see square leg having real trouble looking into that sun. Catch out in that region is going to be made all the more difficult.
Free hit. There's a man out there. It should just be one.
Yeah, they really are taking on that fielder though, aren't they?
Yeah. Magnets down there. And they're trying to chund them up. Brings the left-hander Charlie Haddahins on strike. Both his brothers still here. I think they depart home today. Yeah, late SOS actually from East Kanto trying to get Gabby Haddahins into their squad after a late pull-out.
Right.
In the end, they had to turn it down because he's got to go home, unfortunately. Just wait for signal here. He runs off the bat. Not too sure which camp I'd rather be in at this stage. What I do know is that there's a bit more intrigue. Good running by the pair again to sneak through another single. And the 7th over. 4-3. We're up to joining running out in the middle in the other ground.
Tomorrow's morning matches sees the Super Kings taking on Kansai Chargers. It's on ground number 1, so it'll be live streamed. On ground 2 will be North Kanto Lions taking on Hurricanes. The weather outlook looks pretty good. Maybe a thunderstorm at 3 o'clock, but could be raining here after 3. Monday, however, is all sun. So the weather forecast looking good for Japan Premier League edition 10. The best so far in my eyes.
One Tadajan into the attack. Late spin. Big full toss. Ravichandran doesn't punish him for it. It will be just one. Yeah, the standard's been excellent. In spite of some tough conditions, the wet ground, the wet pitch, and everyone's really stood up, and just the quality across the board has been probably the most satisfying thing to have seen. Single out, so long off. Chandran wanted one, but Charlie smartly turning it back. So the viewer numbers start to swell up again, knowing that we have a dramatic finish here. I'll be a little bit disappointed there. He couldn't put either side of Natarajan.
Yeah, I guess our morning game did go to the last over, but 21 was required, so we see a post finish in game 2 here.
Oh, swatted straight over the bowler's head. Charlie Hunter-Hins should come back for a second, and he does. Pretty good chase from Ashley Thurgate. Just walking a little bit gingerly in front of us here.
Yeah.
I think he's okay. Down the track, aiming for the sight screen, and it hasn't quite hit it. It's landed just short, but it's 6 to the total. You always know that that's an area of the ground straight back over the bowler's head. Rarely ever going to be a man there.
Yeah, it was a good over to the last ball, unfortunately, for Natarajan. 10 off it, off the 6 off the final ball. South Kanto now up to 63 for 3. 8 overs gone. So the calculations, 80 runs needed in 12 overs. Net run rate manageable. 6.5, so they need to pull this back somehow, North Kanto.
Just a little conference between the umpires here. I'm not 100% sure what this is about. It might just be the state of the ball. This Thurgate there looks like he might just have one of those ball bendy tools. Unless someone else has got ball in hand. No, it's in the bowler's hand, so I'm not 100% sure what's transpired here. Either way. And so it looks like it's the man who has so far not put a foot wrong today.
Yes.
Continue to really hammer in his credentials here.
Yeah.
That's a cut. Oh, and for a moment there, I thought it was a return catch first ball.
It could be a classic play from the playbook, and this team's starting to lose a little momentum. Test the ball.
Yeah, that old chestnut.
Something's not right here. Doesn't must Saburish Ravichandran.
Well dug out by the senior international all-rounder.
Charlie Hins on strike. Works out onto the leg side. Yeah, it seems like a couple of smart cricketers out there. Charlie little youth, but Saburish, of course, years of experience. Just realising, you know, they can just pick a runner ball here and still good position, keep the wickets towards the back end. You can win this game comfortably.
On the leg side. The keeper's done relatively well to prevent a boundary.
Yeah, perhaps the first mistake of the day for Kazumasa Hiroshika. Wide ball.
No one's perfect.
No one's perfect.
Johnny Hill's maybe.
Yeah.
That's probably the only one.
Yeah, great nickname, right?
Great nickname. Oh, on the up there was a catchable height, but Charlie Hins did know that the outfielder was in that little pocket in the outfield for one. We got ourselves a free hit here. I think there might have been too many fielders outside the circle. I didn't hear a no ball called straight away.
Yeah, but I think
There's a free hit definitely been signalled.
yeah.
Well then, here we go.
May have been
Yeah, this man here, yeah.
okay. The
Free
fault
hit.
of captain.
He's gone.
Wow.
In the end, no pace on the ball to play that rant. He can be run out. Oh, and they're going to get an overthrow. Yeah, it wasn't quite the shot to play. It was a good adjustment from Ratsuka.
Yeah, probably. Oh, is there a chance of a run out there? Not really. Probably keeping the batsman honest though.
Fired at the non-strikers end. Good throw that. Olvera.
Yeah, it is. Olvera, isn't it? Yep.
It's probably been the only dampener of the day so far. It's just the no balls that have been bowled across, well, everyone
Yeah.
here in the competition thus far.
Yep. All four teams have been guilty, haven't they?
Oh, they take on the bowler. Hiratsuka! Oh, goodness me. Yeah, Charlie Hurrien's turned back to Sabarins. I think you said, look, there might not quite have been one there. End of the over. That single taking them to 76 for 3. 9 overs gone.
Yeah, if I do think back of all the Japanese cricket I've watched over the last 3-4 years, Sabarins Ravichandran has always delivered with the ball on bat, but he has been guilty
Yep.
of a couple of little run-outs. There was a run in Hong Kong, the series they had there. Yeah. Always good to work on a different part of your game. These two have done well together. They certainly read the game well. Just aware of the calculation, what's needed. Haven't really taken any risks. Haven't seen too many balls aerial in the last 2 to 3 overs.
Over the top. There is a man out there. Ashley Thurgate can't hold on to a tough chance. And it's his dad that signals a 4. Looking over. His son puts down the chance.
Yeah, tough chance. But catches like that can change the momentum.
Yeah.
If we remember Fujioka Fletcher's catch, I think he got Koshan Kulasaria.
Big shout. He's a long way down though. It's always going to be a tough one for the umpire to give out that. Top edge. Thurgate running in, not quite. Oh, I thought he might have had a chance to maybe go down low and try and dive to take that catch again, just short.
Nearly chances for the Kanto lines. We just spoke about how they've been playing the game well, keeping it on the ground, just taking 6 or 7 for over. Last couple of deliveries. I've seen a possible 2 chances.
He's hit that hard and straight. Man running around from long off will collect though. One thing I've noticed about Charlie Hurriens, when he gets one a little short, especially off the spinners, he just seems to have a little bit more time in comparison to his teammates, and he can work it into a gap. Oh, Ravichandran not in control there. He's definitely keen to take Chandama on.
Yeah, Chandama's it's been a good over from him. Thus far, 1 ball to go.
This time, that was probably the one to come down the track to. Once bitten, twice shy almost. End of the 10th over.
Chandramark figures 1 for 12 off his 2 overs. Probably feature again. 6 bowlers been used so far from the North Kanto lines. Baisley's had 2, Chandramark 2, Kulasuria's had 2, Sakarano Thomas has had 2. Ranjan and Hiratsuka just the 1 each. Looks like a 2 over spell from each bowler.
Giving an indication of South Kanto just moving away with this game a little bit. By comparison, North Kanto were 46 for 4. And these two now, I should pick up another 2 here, have just arrested control. Partnership 46 off 34 deliveries. He's barely up at Charlie Harahin's name, and he's already 23 off 19. So 25 off 20 deliveries. Chandran has probably not been at his best with the bat, but he's still been able to go at a strike rate of 130. He might have picked out the man. Harahin's running in. Short.
Again.
Yeah, it's been a theme the last couple of overs, hasn't it, Gar?
Yeah, I think the 4 now, just falling short, the fielder.
You need to always feel you've got a chance coming for you if you're a Lion in this situation. They still need over a run of ball. Into the right side. Sprawling was the man at 45. Oh, and he's made a meal of the chase, and I think it's actually just touched the rope in all of that. Just to wait the signal. Yeah, signal 4. I thought it just, kissed the rope there. It's Kulasuriya there chasing.
Yeah, plenty of effort shown from him. But that effort in the end just not drag the ball over, unfortunately.
Oh, half a shout. Bowler more keen on returning the ball to the keeper. Big 6 struck over on the other field.
Yeah.
I think there'll be a rescue mission trying to find that ball.
Yeah, a bit of a fight back from the East Kanto Sunrisers. Chasing 135 for victory. Currently 52 for 3. We were at 15 for 3 at one stage.
Good chance for the Sunrisers, who are defending champions, to go back-to-back winners on match day 1. 11 overs gone, 89 for 3. Yeah, I think in some ways for East Kanto today, I think they'll know deep down that they weren't at their absolute best in that victory this morning, but just did enough to churn out what they needed to churn out. Nico Davis had a game to remember. Big partnership there, bailed them out of trouble, but it was probably pleasing given that it wasn't the guys you would probably expect or you would think they would need to step up.
Yeah, it makes the batting stocks look good, doesn't it? They were 4 down early, and those 2 came together. The big 6 on ground 2 was Supan Navaratna.
Chandramark again. 3rd over of the day. Taking on a fellow left arm orthodox spinner, of course, in Charlie Hurricans. Played the tournament at recent under 19 World Cup qualifier here, as you mentioned, Japan won. Edge, no slip in. The man at backward point has got a lot of work to do, but keep it to 2. Oh, this is gorgeous batting. The fielder at mid-wicket was interested, but it was a textbook slog sweep from the young man.
Just clears the front leg, doesn't he? Swings through the arc. Lovely shot.
For a moment there, he loaded up, but adjusted well.
Just continues to impress, doesn't he, Charlie Hinds? The past few weeks with the ball, and but today we've seen it with the bat.
What I liked about that last ball that he did face is that he was keen to go again after hitting the 6, but then he saw it wasn't quite there, and he still was able to work a 1. It's a big part, especially at underage level, just the picking singles and finding gaps in some regards can be a little tricky. Yeah, this time able to move that past the middle of the field. Minha Palmer is a player a little similar in that a good young player, good technique and a good game. He's unable at times, it's a little bit bogged down, can't find the gaps into the over. 99 for 3, another wicket over there, and I think it is Kendall Cuttawaki Fleming walking off. I can tell his mannerisms and his walking style from 190, 200 metres away.
Yeah, you're right around Charlie, you know, it's that mental dexterity, isn't it? Just, you know, he's mature beyond his years, really. He's just his game sense.
The potential for him to go through another under 19 World Cup cycle, which is unthinkable considering how good he was at this one.
Yeah.
And there's a little bit of talk that, you know, there's some people involved in Australian cricket who have obviously kept a pretty keen eye on him already as well, so it might be one of very few, if not the first player to have played 219 World Cups. Different, I don't know, I'm not even sure her eligibility if that's even allowed, to be honest.
Right.
You can obviously go from an associate member to a full member in a heartbeat. Just in the 19 World Cup, I'm just not sure if there's anything around that. Basic back. And the challenger happy just to angle down and take himself off strike. This is a tough spot actually for Basie to bowl. This wicket is now on the tired side, and the guy who at 200 centimetres is someone who wants to extract some bounce, but the wicket is probably not providing a lot of life. Now takes on young Charlie Hurricans. This is a great challenge for the 19 World Cup hero.
Well, earlier on he stood admiring his partner, Fletcher, taking some in within a couple of good boundaries. Watching that normal. But since then he's done a great job. He's the smart cricketer. But yeah, this will be a good challenge for him.
Ravichandran calls his partner through. No Ash Thurgate to the bowling crease.
No. Yeah, you mentioned earlier he sort of was walking gingerly. I just wonder if there's any injury there or not.
Fletcher wasn't in that celebratory run after taking the catch. He just moved over the point.
Tell you what, there was no injury at that stage, was
No.
there?
Chat to the umpire at the point and just thought that must be his dad. Again, Ravi Chandran happy to move out. That's all they really need to do at this point. More than happy just to negotiate the marquee fast bowler. Speaking of Burgets, we've got another one who could still play a part in this one, and Marcus is in the South Kanto lineup. So, Chiba Sharks fans getting their dose of the boys in light blue.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see who comes in next. If they get to that, the stage, these two are just bringing them home nicely. 55 required now.
And again, his partner happy to angle down. Yeah, still have Alistair Katawaki Fleming, of course. We have Palmer. Quite a long batting lineup.
Yeah.
Sort of put it like that, isn't it?
Keeper Yamamoto Lake can hit a ball. Marcus as well, yeah. Big shouts of glee on ground too.
When you give up a point, the first game that was washed out. Slower ball slap back over mid wicket, and it will beat the man. So the slow ball bouncer from Baisley, well read by Ravi Chandran. On the other ground, they've hit the breaks. He's Kanto at 60 for 6, and Kanzai after missing out earlier today. Running through their opposition.
Final ball just blocked by Ravi Chandran. Happy enough with the 8 runs already taken off the over. 107 for 3. 7 overs remain. So run rate required now dropping to just under 5.5.
Well negotiated over that from SK. Hit the one boundary, 4 singles.
Pleasing news that the scoreboard is up and running after falling over earlier on with a gust of wind. It's good to know that that wind has died down now. Well, maybe not. It has in the commentary box, but not looking at the flags across part of the field.
It does get a little bit swirly here at times, doesn't it? John back.
Yeah, they really need a wicket though to change the plot of this match. North Kanto.
Wins down the ground. Completely mistimed that. Baisley, can he maybe manufacture something to well-run single in the end? Another wicket for Kanzai on field 2. Yeah, absolutely racing home.
Is that 7 down?
I think it might be.
Right.
Oh, Hara Hins splits the 2 men and adds 6 to his total. been emphatic. Oh, this pair, the partnership building. On the outside side this time, wide given. Approaching. No.
Came together these two at 38 for 3.
77. Long hop. Going, gone. And what a way to bring up a half century. Under 19 World Cup qualification hero, South Kanto Super Kings juggernaut, 6-hitting machine at this point. Raises his bat to the dugout. Happy just to knock off the single now. They are in cruise control. South Kanto Super Kings, 1 ball left in the over. We did hypothesise in the first innings that yes, North Kanto did recover well, but it was still a score that was probably under par. I'm trying to fix like an easy single, and these two are probably highlighting and underlining that point.
Yeah, brilliant innings from Charlie Hinds. Not only the skill he's showing out there in the middle, but just his mental strength. He came in at 1 for 2. I remember saying at the time, tough job for the two youngsters alongside Dylan Fujioka Fletcher. Bit older in the age of 20, but they were 2 down early on, and then they were 3 down. This partnership certainly has taken the game away from North Kanto. It's a few overs to go, but just 23 runs needed now. The experience of Sabarish Ravichandran alongside the stunning skill and youth in Charlie Hinds. It'll be a tough team to beat in this tournament.
It will be. Running Thomas back. Oh, down the track. Ravichandran says, "Arigato gozaimasu." 4 more.
Lovely shot from Sabarish. Couple of steps down the wicket, heading straight, wide of mid-off. Good match-up, teammate on teammate. Comes down again, but just pushes it out to the covers.
It's been surgical, really, from these two now.
Yeah, there's probably been 3-4 balls just falling short of the fielder, but other than that, I can't think of too many opportunities that afforded the opposition. As I say, I've gone about it beautifully. Even if they were to lose a wicket now, they have confidence. Another lovely shot behind backward square.
He's just
Point.
taken on his national team coach here, Charlie Hinds, and whacked him over the offside for 4.
Just the second 50 of the tournament. I'm thinking the earlier morning. No, it is, isn't it? Alongside Benjamin Ethel Davis's 55.
Unless we missed one on another ground, I don't think we did. No, we did not. Declan Suzuki become top scored 35, 37 balls. Tough sledding over there. They make 134, but really slightly trickier deck. Field 2, we know that a little bit more trouble getting that up and ready to go. Thurgate does well to field it, but palmed it away for a single to be run. It's a real statement for Kanto Super Kings if they were to cruise even quicker home now, especially with, I suspect he's Kanto over there on field 2 if we're dropping points against Kanzai. It'll be tough to keep within the field of play. It's going to run away for 4. Just straying down the leg side a tad, and Ravi Chandran again just doesn't pass up opportunities very often, does he?
Yeah, and with that shot brings up his 50. So the pair now, both with milestones. Sabarisha's coming up, 52 of 37 deliveries.
Goes again, and it's the same result.
Again, just straying down leg side, easy pickings for Sabarish. Similar math really. Charlie Hinds is 56, giving up 34 balls, so pretty much South can't shoot up to 142 for 3. This is going to be a big victory. Consecutive 4s, 3 of them. Sorry, no, there was a ball in between. 4 4s off the over. 18 runs coming from it. Requires just an extra 4 to win. 5 overs spare, so important in these tournaments. If we do get some rain tomorrow afternoon, net run rate will come into it. South Kanto Super Kings having the bye this morning, starting here with their first win, and with a pretty healthy net rate run rate to follow. So
yeah, that could well come into consideration a little bit later down the track. Just throwing it back, what you make, Garth. Easy one there. You can hit all the boundaries that you want, and granted they've hit plenty of them, but one thing we've both been able to do with a bomb is just find the easy ones.
scores are equal. There's one more needed from South Kanto. Top of the table.
Field all come in. And they take on the infielder. They've run him out. So the winning run at this point not been taken. Saba turns and apologises to Harry Hinds. Real dampened and not able to finish unbeaten that.
Yeah.
There's an easy one for Sakurano Thomas sort of running in and directly at the stumps. Not quite a sour taste in the mouth, but yeah, it's certainly one where you turn around and, you know, if they were to look at his numbers at the end of the tournament, he's probably cost himself a bit of red ink there.
Yeah. Also troublesome for the incoming batsman was to come out, face the one delivery. Nothing to win here for the batsman.
No.
Everything to lose.
Yeah, you're almost happy just to let it slide at this point.
Can't really block out the over with another, well, there's 2 balls remaining in the over.
Well, we do know he's not going to run a stupid single because he doesn't want to get out. It'd be heartbreaking if both of the set patterns were to fall away.
It is brother of Kendall, Alistair Karawaki Fleming.
This time the single is taken, and thankfully for South Kanto Super Kings, the single is completed. They cruise to victory at the end of the 16th over to win by 6 wickets and with 4 overs to spare. And you have to say it's been a real stamp of authority performance by the men in blue to run away with this one in spite of losing the marquee man Sam Wilson early in the chase. A couple of early wickets they regathered, built a brilliant partnership through that man Savarosh Ravichandran and Charlie Hara-Hinds. Plenty to think about from the North Kanto standpoint. They fall to an opening day defeat, but they also know that these Kanto over on the other ground are more than likely going to drop points as well. So no one really racing away as yet, and of course that one washout as well. It leaves it very open into days 2 and 3 here. As you see the forlorn North Kanto Lions team walk off in defeat. Handshakes incoming here in Sano. An easy win in the end for the South Kanto Super Kings and Garth. Plenty of intrigue after day 1, but most importantly we've seen some high level quality cricket, and all around you've got the best part of 50 players at this tournament who all seem to be able to pitch in and prove to be match winners. And we've seen a couple of guys step up today, likes of Charlie Hara-Hinds, Savarosh Ravichandran in the afternoon fixture, and yeah, a great confidence boosting performance for the men in blue.
Yeah, and we can't forget Kazumasa Hiratsuka's 71 high score of the tournament thus far, coming off 40 balls. Brilliant display from him. But yeah, when looking at this match and the figures, Charlie Hara-Hinds, his 3 for 25 combined with his half century. Unfortunate to lose his wicket at the end through the run out, but sacrificing it for the team. Outstanding display from him. But I like what you said before, the quality of cricket across the field. Some lots of contributions and some special plays here today. Please join us tomorrow, our tomorrow matches in the morning, getting underway a little bit earlier, 10 a.m. We have the Super Kings taking on Kansai Chargers on ground 1, and the North Kanto Lions taking on the West Kanto Hurricanes on ground number 2. Do join us. I'll leave us with the final words. We'll go to you, Daniel.
Well, it'd be good to see the 2 winners in this afternoon's fixtures, assuming Kansai go on and close out that match, to take on each other on ground number 1, and in the morning too, hopefully the ground staff get a chance to clean up the ground, which saw a bit of wear and tear today after that early rain. They've done a magnificent job, it must be said. Probably a lot of kudos needs to go in the direction of Mahesh Papage and his crew here at the SICG, as we've got the best part of 2 full games in, albeit the first one 15 overs aside, and ground 2 unable to hold the first match. But plenty of good cricket already on show. We've got 2 more days of it guaranteed to provide highlights and drama and close finishes as well. And a good victory for South Kanto Super Kings. That's all she wrote here from the SICG. We're back over the next 2 days, slightly earlier start, 10 a.m. local time start tomorrow for the early wave of matches here at the SICG, and plenty of exciting cricket around the corner. But on behalf of Garth Thomas and myself, Daniel Beswick, a beautiful day in Sano. Goodbye, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow.